YOLO, the American dream has changed. It is no longer looking like this, where you have a beautiful home, white picket fence, wife, 2 kids, a dog, car that you own outright, and you live in suburb America. No. The new American dream is to escape America, to break free of the Matrix. Tom MacDonald said it best when he featured on Dax's song, Propaganda.
I love the country, but I don't trust the people taking care of us. We went to bed with the American dream. We woke up in America.
If I had to simplify and distill almost all of America's problems down into one single word, that would explain where we are, why we got here, and the reason that we just want to escape this entire country, system, corporatocracy, I would name that one word, greed.
Greed, obsessed with the finest of things. He takes what he wants, his eyes glimmer in green.
The salary of Congress has been frozen since 2009. When you adjust for inflation, a member of Congress today is making 31% less than they made in that year. It goes down every year. And over time, if you stay on this trajectory, you're going to have less qualified people who are willing to make the extreme sacrifice to run for Congress. I mean, it's just people just make a reasonable decision as a family on whether or not they can come and move to Washington, have a residence here, residence at home, and do all the things that are required. So the counter argument is, and I have some sympathy, look, at least let them engage in some stock trading so that they can continue to take care of their family. But
only $174,000 a year. Those poor things, how can they barely survive and take care of their families without doing insider trading? They have to be a Nancy Pelosi. Their greed sickens me. Now, we're supposed to have no taxation without representation. And these people don't represent us in any way, shape, or form. They represent the corporatocracy. They're special campaign donors and lobbyists. Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, Boeing, and dozens of others. They go and they vote in favor of those companies, bills that help them, or sanctions and lawsuits against other companies that are their competition. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. In return, they get prestigious, high-paying jobs when they leave government and go and work in the private sector. They are not your friends. They are not your allies. They are here to serve the best interests of the almighty dollar. And the truth of the matter is, you and I, American citizens, we can't afford the same kind of things these mega corporations can. Our dollars don't really matter, because even if we pull ourselves by the bootstraps and all band together, they can drop billions of dollars pushing for both red politicians and blue politicians. That way, no matter who you vote for, it's one of the people that they're backing. If our votes really mattered, they wouldn't let us vote. I don't remember which ancient Greek philosopher said it, but they said something along the lines of, when money becomes the sole metric of a society's success, true leadership is lost, and its morality becomes transactional. It's this transactional morality of our leadership which has led to the destruction of America and the need to escape. They poison our air with chemtrails. Our food is ultra-hyper-processed with thousands of different preservatives that almost every other nation on Earth has banned. GMOs that every other nation knows not to feed their citizens. Chemical slews and slurries that we can't even pronounce and have no idea what it does to the body. Microplastics so small they make it through the blood-brain barrier. You now got tiny little pieces of plastic just sitting up there in your noggin. They poison the food, they poison the air, they poison the land, they drop bioengineered ticks so that you get alpha gout or Lyme disease and have to buy their medicine. They make you sick so that you can manage your health, buying their medicines, while they actively suppress the cures. They even poison the water. We all know about fluoride, but there are tons of chemicals in the water and the waste sewage treatment plants. 1/3 of Americans are infected with parasites from tap water. They put stuff in the water. They even put stuff in the water that turned the frogs gay.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay. Do you understand that? Turn the friggin' frogs gay. Serious crap. Gay. Frogs, friggin' frogs. It's not funny. I'm gonna say it real slow for you. Gay frogs.
And this isn't even counting for stuff like lower testosterone levels, lower sperm quality, higher birth defects, more miscarriages, depression, anxiety, suicide, antidepressants, cancers, chronic diseases that we used to not have to deal with. Things not exactly looking good for wanting to live here and or raise a family here. Now, it may seem kind of black pill doomer, but I actually do love my country and think America is the best. I just hate the corporatocracy and the greed and how we're being sold out and things are going badly. So when I say the new American dream is to escape America, I mean the new American dream is to still maintain your American citizenship, your American passport, the rights that you are afforded from being American, the benefits, but not to actually live in mainland America. The new American dream is to earn in American dollars and then spend in whatever the local currency is of where you live. Now, you don't have to completely move out of the country and go somewhere like, I don't know, the Philippines, where they use the pesos, where the American dollar is really strong, and they also have a pretty high English-speaking population. Because, friends, family, culture, tradition, patriotism, you may still want to be American. In which case, I would say the American dream for you is to get away from big city America. You can still live in the mainland America. You can still go and see the national parks and the sites, visit your families for the holidays, have the benefits of America, but live in the small town in the middle of nowhere, way far away from all the data centers, way far away from all the pollution, the crime, the corruption, out in the sticks. Earn in American dollars, spend in wherever you're at, local currency, or in small town rural America. Or like I'm planning, Alaska. I mean, it's still America, but it's way out there, far away from most of the craziness. If you take your finances seriously and really knuckle down and focus on living a more simpler life, you don't have to go full on Amish where you have no technology and you do everything all yourself, but if you are able to keep your bills low and your passive income relatively stable, you can cover your living expenses and actually get to live life. You don't have to be a farmer, but maybe having a few animals and some chickens, so you have fresh dairy, fresh eggs, that would probably do wonders for your health compared to the super ultra processed slop that we've been used to eating. Being able to cover rent in a small town, thousands of dollars less than the big cities. And one of the reasons you got to take your finances so seriously is because if you move out of the country, well, there are very few places on earth that pay anything close to what we pay our employees. The minimum wage in America is higher per hour than a lot of places get in an entire day of work. There are countries in Southeast Asia where they would take multiple days of work to earn what one American working as a janitor would earn. The discrepancy in wealth is that massive. So you want to make sure your financial household is in good order before you leave. You want to have the financial freedom to move anywhere in the world and to not have to get a job. This is kind of what I mean when I say the new American dream is to escape America, or to escape the ultra-processed, super toxic, big city America, where they can have the power company use eminent domain and kick you out of your home. That way they can build new power lines to feed the data machines. Isn't it so fun making progress? My personal version of the American dream would be merging the new and old American dreams. I do want to be a husband and a father one day. So I'm going to want the little home, I'm going to want the kids, the yard, the dog. I'm going to want to be able to take care of my wife so she doesn't have to go and work. But I also don't want to live in the suburbs, in the middle of a city, or in an apartment building in a mega corporated city where all the water is polluted, the air is polluted, everything is horrible. 5G towers are blasting you with high frequency radiation. I would want to live a more rustic life, while still maintaining internet access, running water, electricity. I want the luxurious amenities. And I still want to have all my bills covered by my investments. So I would want a little bit more of the homestead style. Up in Alaska, maybe an hour or so drive to a city. That way you can still have access to it and you can still, shop on Amazon, because I'm addicted to that. Although, fun fact, I have to stay off Amazon because every time I get on there, I end up adding a bunch of useless stuff to my cart, and I've spent $500 or more on Amazon before for useless stuff. But that's one of the reasons I don't go on there very often. But no, I would want to live away from a city, but close enough I still get the benefits. I'd like to still keep my American citizenship so I can have all the benefits, but avoid the drawbacks of having to live in those super toxic environments. Especially near a bunch of Karens who just nag all dang HOA style, try and control what you can and can't do. Those are my viewpoints on the American dream. How it used to be, what it currently is, and the hybrid of what I really want. But let me know what you guys think of the American dream and what your version of the American dream is for your own life. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.